Celsius is not banned by the NCAA. So this video is for all my college athletes who are going into their fall season and you're worried about failing your drug test because you drink Celsius. Recently, this has been getting a lot of buzz on social media, and I wanted to just clear up the topic. So what happened is the NCAA released their list of banned substances for 2021 and 2022. Shortly after, a few articles came out talking about how the NCAA banned Celsius. And being a ambassador for Celsius and also a collegiate strength coach, I was immediately concerned and conflicted because I can't represent a supplement that will have my athletes test positive on their drug test. Before dropping my affiliation with Celsius, I went to look into it, and the first thing I noticed is all of the articles that came out are from college media sources or college newspapers. There's nothing out from the NCAA, there's nothing out from Drug Free Sport or WADA or USADA. It is just from college media sources and TikToks. And not that those can't be quality sources of information, but credibility is in it. So I want to find out from the source who said that the NCAA bans Celsius, why is it banned, what is in it, blah, blah, blah. So I read through the articles and they each referenced this study that the NCAA did on Celsius in which they found prohibited ingredients. I went through the internet, I went through PubMed, I went through Google Scholar, no study exists. Went through the NCAA website, no study exists. I also called Drug Free Sport, and the woman that I spoke to said that she had been looking for that publication since the article came out, and she confirmed that it doesn't exist, and she even contacted the NCAA, and they confirmed that it doesn't exist. Now, the other thing that these articles talk about is that there's an ingredient in Celsius, Guarana, that also appears on the NCAA prohibited or banned substance list. That much is true. So when I saw that, I was like, oop, done, cool, can't be affiliated with Celsius. So what I did was I submitted an inquiry with the Drug Free Sports website on their access page, and it came back as a level 2 risk, which essentially means that there are contents in the supplement that can possibly have you test positive. Didn't really know what that meant, was kind of too vague of an answer for me, so I gave them a call. And speaking with the representative from Drug Free Sport, this is what she told me. So Guarana is a source of caffeine, the same way that coffee beans are a source of caffeine, the same way any sort of tea is a source of caffeine. Guarana is just another source. So Guarana is no more banned by the NCAA than ordering an iced coffee at Starbucks. The way the NCAA hands their banning of caffeine is more so a prohibited limit of caffeine consumption more than an outright ban. So their limit on caffeine is you're not allowed any more than 15 micrograms per milliliter of urine in your testing sample. And unfortunately, there's no one-size-fits-all formula for how to calculate what that quantity is for you, but it's generally recommended no more than 500 milligrams caffeine a day. A can of Celsius has 200 milligrams caffeine. While Guarana might be a potent source of caffeine, 200 milligrams caffeine is 200 milligrams caffeine, whether that's through coffee beans or Guarana. It's still 200. Now, because the FDA doesn't regulate the supplement industry, no one confirms that what's on the nutrition label is actually what's in the product. And there's no one that says whatever bowl they mixed it in didn't have tainted sources prior to making that supplement. So no one confirms there's not exactly 200 milligrams caffeine in here. But again, that's still 300 milligrams underneath your daily recommendation. Staying within 1 can a day is well within your healthy limit. Now, if you're grabbing 2 or 3 cans a day, that's where some red flags come up with you could possibly test positive for being over the caffeine allowance for the NCAA. Not only that, but when you're consuming that much caffeine, that's when you start to see these heart problems come up or these different health risks come about, which is why the NCAA places a limit upon the consumption of caffeine. So before you reach for that 2nd can or 3rd can in a day, you should probably take a look at what your sleep qualities look like and how many calories you're consuming in a day, because those things are probably better to fix and take a look at than just taking another stimulant to get you through the day. And yes, that includes during finals week and during conference play, 1 can a day. So if you have any other questions about Celsius, let me know, or go to drugfreesport.com. They have plenty of helpful resources. You can submit inquiries about any supplement you're taking and whether it is a risk for testing positive on your drug test. And they have helpful videos on caffeine for more clarification on what's allowed and what's not. Cheers.